Good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
Good morning.
What a joy it is to be here. Welcome to High Desert Center for Spiritual Living in Apple Valley. I am Reverend Sharon Hudson, your interim minister, and I love this community. So we're going to open today with a song. I want you to know the program is not up to date. Our wonderful service committee made a few changes, so the words to this song aren't in the program. But we don't need words, because the choir is singing it. You're welcome to join in. It's a little bit of a call and response, so you'll catch on. We don't need words, thank you. So here we go. High Desert Choir.
Take a look at the person next to you. Say God loves you and I love you too. Feel the love in the sanctuary. Lift your voice and repeat after me. We come together. 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 Take a look at the person next to you. Say, I recognize the God in you. Feel the love in the sanctuary. Lift your voice and repeat after me. We come together. 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 From every walk of life, every creed and color, in kinship we unite, in honor of the God in each other. Take a look at the person next to you. Say, namaste, I bow to you. Feel the love in the sanctuary. Lift your voice and repeat after me. We come together. 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 In the name of love, we come together. We come together. We come together. In the name of love, we come together. We come together. We come together.
One of the things I love about this,
It's off.
I'll just use this one here. First, I want to say thank you to our sound person and technical wizard, Marina. Thank you, Marina. I just want to say thank you to the choir. One of the things I love about this community is the enthusiasm for music. And a big thank you to our music director, Chris. And so as I like to begin a service with just centering up in spirit. So will you just take a moment with me to turn within? Just letting go of getting here and everything that's happened up until this very moment. And so taking a breath, I open my mind and heart to the presence of the one life, one love. One deep grounding peace that dwells within each one of us. Its nature is wisdom, freedom, joy. It is the truth of each of us. It is our natural state of being. And so I move into that awareness that I am one in the one with the infinite, with the dynamic, creative activity of the universe. And so I celebrate our coming together today for inspiration, for connection, for music, for joy, knowing that our service unfolds beautifully, that our time together is graced by the wisdom of the divine in amazing ways. I take a moment to see through the eyes of love all who are here today. We are the presence of the divine, and we see the divine in each other. So with a grateful heart, I just let go, knowing this is the way it is, and so it is. So we are here at High Desert Center for Spiritual Living, and it works. An all-inclusive center of love. So we recognize and celebrate what I was just speaking about in that opening prayer, the divine in one another, each other. Together, we are co-creating a world that works for everyone. That is the high vision for our international organization, global organization called Centers for Spiritual Living. We have communities like this all around the world. In the Ukraine, in South Africa, you mentioned it, we might have someone there. We even have someone in China. What can I tell you? So I'm wondering if anyone is here for the very first time and would like to let us know so we can welcome you and maybe get to know you. Anybody? Not today. Well, thank you for being here. I'm going to introduce our announcements today are going to be by our board president, Joanne Goodsell.
Thank you. Good morning.
Morning.
You are invited to join us every Sunday for meditation. The meditation happens at 9:30. It's about 15 minutes, and it's led by the practitioner of the day. So please come and join us. It's a wonderful time to settle in. Our membership meeting is today. We'll be approving the budget, and we'll be approving possibly a bylaw addition. The sign-in today is going to be in the social hall. We have 4 lines. It's by alphabetical order, so your name is only where it is. It's not multiple pages. It's 1 page for each person. No. Oh, gosh. So the alphabet didn't break up right, so I broke it up by names. So it might say Farrell to Hunt. So you know that if your initials are in that line, that's where you're going to go. How's that? On tomorrow, Monday, July 19th, we're going to have lunch with the Reverend. This is an opportunity to socialize, get to know your community as well as the interim minister better. I attended last time. It was a lot of fun. You bring your own lunch and you have food and talk.
Where?
In the social hall.
At
You're
noon.
welcome.
At noon.
At 12 noon, yes. 12 noon at lunchtime. Reverend Sharon is going to be starting listening circles, and they're going to begin next Thursday at 12:30 p.m., also at noon on Saturdays. This is going to be by Zoom, and pre-registration is required. Once you're registered, we'll be able to send you the link. So pick up a flyer in the garden room on the concierge table. There's a flyer. We also have Reverend Karen that leads sister circles. The next one will be Saturday, July 24th at 11 a.m. And please contact Reverend Karen if you'd like to be attending this. All women are invited. On Saturday, August 7th, Reverend Sharon will be leading the conscious creation process to create the vision for our new minister. Flyers and a sign-up sheet are available in the garden room. This is going to be from 9 to 3, and we will all work together creating the vision of our new minister. And our office bookstore is open on Monday from 9 to 1, Tuesday 9 to 1, Wednesday 9 to 12, and Thursday 10 to 3, and we're closed on Friday. And I'd like you now to welcome our practitioner of the day, Lori Smith.
read the Ernest Holmes Promises. Those are on the front of your program. And we'll read that together, okay? Here we go. I keep the promise that I have made myself to affirm in this moment that I am abundant, healthy, strong, and happy. I keep the intention to daily speak this truth to my inner soul, telling it that it is wonderful and marvelous, that it is one with the great cause of life, truth, power, and action. I whisper these things into my soul until it breaks forth into songs of joy with the realization of its limitless possibilities. I assure my soul. And now we are going to sing I Remember Who I Am, and the choir will be singing that and joining with Chris. And if you know the words, join with us.
Is this I am remembering?
I am remembering, yeah. Yes. Thank you. Very good. And now it's time for us to do the Ho'oponopono prayer. And again, the choir will sing that with you. But here's the words so that you'll remember. I love you. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. Thank you. Sorry, I was supposed to read this. This is a powerful forgiveness practice which we can use in our everyday life. Even if you feel there is no one in your past or present that you need to forgive, you can use this prayer to help you clear away any judgments or negative ideas about yourself or others. And now is the time for flames of faith, and Clay will come forward to light the flames. We perform this ceremony on Sunday to promote the universal consciousness of life, which acknowledges that all peoples and all faiths, all beings come from the one great universal presence, which we call Spirit. The unity candle represents the unifying nature of all religious thought and experience, which we honor here today. We light the first candle for the shamanic traditions, honoring the beliefs and practices of all indigenous peoples, the way of primal spirituality. We light the second candle for Hinduism, honoring the path of knowledge, action, and devotion. We light the third candle for the Tao, honoring the universal path of harmony and equilibrium, the natural way. We light the fourth candle for Judaism, honoring the ethical path of living by sacred law. We light the fifth candle for all forms of Buddhism, honoring the Four Noble Truths and the path of compassion. We light the sixth candle for all forms of Christianity, honoring the Christ consciousness as the path of love. We light the seventh candle for all forms of Islam, honoring the path of compliance with the will of God as the highest calling. We light the eighth candle for the universalistic religion of Baha'i, honoring the path of unity and peace. We light the ninth candle, honoring all forms of New Thought, embracing the metaphysical path of mental healing through the practice of universal spiritual principle. We light the 10th candle for inclusivity, affirming that all are welcome here. And as Clay lights the healing candle, please put silently into the light the names of loved ones, knowing that they have the experience of Spirit's eternal love. Amen, and so it is. Now I'd like to do a spiritual mind treatment, so I invite you to close your eyes at this time, if you can safely do so, as we move within. In this moment, there is only one all-providing source, one creative intelligence of the universe. And this presence is everywhere. It is in you, and it is in me, and it is in all things, in all people. We call it God. We call it love. And it is the one power that expresses through each and every one of us, every minute of every day. And I speak this word in the first person so that you may embody these words as your very own. I am one with my source. I am the love that God is. I am the peace that God is. I am the joy in this moment. And this power breathes me. This power is the love in me, and this power loves me. And I am grateful and thankful for this center, for this service, for all who make it possible. For Chris and his music ministry, we are so blessed. For the sound room, the bookstore, the office staff. For the volunteers who serve on their own time, we are so grateful and thankful. For Reverend Karen Mitchell, for she is our great support, and our practitioners who love you and serve you. And let us bless Reverend Sharon and her message today, knowing that we are lift up to a higher place of awareness. So I release my word now, grateful and thankful, knowing that it goes forward each moment of each day. I let go and let God. And together we say, and so it is.
I think we have music now.
Yes, we do, right?
Yes, we do. So
Special music.
special music. Tell it. You introduce it, Chris.
This is called Use Me, and I'd like the choir to help out. And if you know the words, you can sing along too. Use me, oh God, I stand for you. Here I'm alive as you show me all that I must do. I used to think God was the sun, God is the sun, but God's so much more than the earth or the stars or all of creation. God is creator, all in all, and needing us to shine His light as me, as you, so use me. Oh God, I stand for you, and here I'll abide as you show me all that I must do. All I'm saying is, command my hands. What must they do? Command my life. It's here for you. God is the love that heals all creation. God is creator, makes all things new, and God needs us to shine His light. God needs us to shine His light. God needs us to shine His light as me, as you, so use me. Oh God, I stand for you, and here I'll abide as you show me all that I must do. Show me all that I must do. Show me all that I must do.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Thank you very much. Well, that set the stage for our talk today. You know, this month, our theme is pulled by vision. I like that theme. Last month, it was pushed by pain. I did not like that as well, just in case you're wondering. So today's topic is actually free your mind and everything will follow. So how do we free our minds, and what do we need to free it from? Well, you know, I think I have a pretty free mind. I work on this all the time. But I'm going to tell you something that happened this week that I needed to free my mind from. So my phone rings. I don't recognize the number, but because I don't know all of your phone numbers, I answer it because you know it could be one of you, right?
Right.
Well, here's the thing. It was Jen, cheerful Jen. Hi, I'm Jen. I'm calling today about the increase in your electric bill. Did you get the notice in your mail about that? And I just hung up the phone. Right? 2 days later, I get the same call. Hi, this is Jen. I'm calling about the increase in your electric bill. Did you get the notice in the mail? And this is what I said. You're calling about solar and I don't want to talk to you. She said, you're rude, and hung up on me. Well, you know, if she wasn't calling about solar, we could have had a conversation. Even if she was calling about solar, she could have been nicer. That was my first thought. And then I had to look at, am I rude? And I have to tell you, this kept coming back to me that whole day long. I needed to free my mind from that. Does stuff like that happen to you ever, where there's just a little thing you could have done better? Because what happened is, I realized that, you know, I could have been nicer. This young or old woman, this woman, definitely a woman, was doing her job and being as cheerful as she possibly could about it. And you should know that I had a job in a call center for 2 hours once. I quit on the first break. Where I was calling, it was actually to sell magazines, but it was a tricky, not right thing. And I couldn't do it after 2 hours. So I know what it's like to try to do a job like that. Keep making call after call after call, right? So my compassionate heart opened, and I'm still talking to myself about, dang, it should have been nicer. So what do we do when that stuff's running around in our head? It just pops up from time to time during the day, or for weeks maybe, because sometimes it's bigger and it lasts longer than a day. I was done with this by the end of the day, you should know, because that is possible. So here's what I did. I don't know if this will work for you, but I said, okay, I should have been nicer. My compassionate heart will be open now to everyone. I think it's open all the time, right? I don't know what happened with that call, but that human in me just burst forth. So I said to myself, let's have a real plan. Let's like rehearse it in your mind so that if you get a call like this again, you are the presence of love. You know this person is doing their very best, even if you don't want solar. Actually, I want a windmill. Just so you know, we live on a hill, great wind. I think it's a great source for energy. That's what we're working on. And I could have just been nice, and so I rehearsed different answers and like, oh, yes, well, no, I didn't get that, but I'm interested in windmills. Are you selling those? You know, I could have been just cheerful and given her something that she could go nowhere with, because that's what I do to the guys that come to my door. So, minding my mind is really important. When I start to notice stuff popping up where I'm feeling a little not right, and it could be just my judgment of someone else, not just myself, right? And when I went to a seminar years ago, they had a little button that they gave everybody, and all it said on it was mind your mind. Mind your mind. So to free my mind, I have to first become aware of what's popping up there. What am I saying to myself about me and about others, right? One of the most powerful tools we have to free our mind is our practice of spiritual mind treatment, which is also called affirmative prayer. And I want to say to you that there's no wrong way to pray, right? All prayer makes a difference in our lives. And we know that the world's religions all pray in different ways. I want to speak to you today about our form of prayer, because I have found it to be the most amazing and powerful way to transform not only my mind, but my life. So first of all, spiritual mind treatment is spiritually treating my mind. It's my mind. I'm not reaching out to something out there like a God or a thing in the sky or an essence or a presence. It's not about something out there. It's about me clearing my mind, because my mind is one with infinite mind. And so the steps of this, and it's not about begging. It's not about bartering. Like, have you ever said, oh God, I'll do this if you promised or whatever? I've done all those things, by the way. I begged, I bartered. So, and there's nothing wrong with that. By God, at the time it worked. There was a time when I was going through my first divorce, and I just did this. I shouted to God, God, I want a man. And you know what? I got two. Well, one after the other, so maybe a few in between. I don't know. Anyway, God's good. See, I was talking to something outside of myself. It still worked. So prayer is powerful, but I want to speak about the most powerful way to pray, because this is how I got my current husband 33 years ago. This step works. The first step in spiritual mind treatment is to really move your mind into the awareness of the divine. And I think that happens in different ways for each of us. You know, what I know about the divine is God shows up the way you expect God to show up. How big is the God you have in your mind? How big is it? How big is it, Chris?
Huge.
It's huge, yeah. And so some people, when they do the spiritual mind treatment, I love to listen to other people pray because the way they open their prayer is beautiful. Sometimes it's the majesty of the mountains and the glory of the earth. To just recognize the magnificence of the divine presence of life itself, right? Sometimes it's words like unbounded love, deep grounded peace, wisdom, joy, freedom, some of the words I used. So what is it that brings the sense of the divine to you? I'm going to share some words from Ernest Holmes because I'll tell you, he doesn't always do a 5-step. We use 5 steps, by the way, for our form of prayer. You will find so many inspirational words from him that touch, these words touch my heart. I'm just going to share some ways he kind of opens up that awareness. So take a moment, because we're going to do a little spiritual practice today. He says, be still and know that I am God. A great stillness steals over me, and a great calm quiets my whole being. I have discovered a secret place within, where the thought goes into a mountain high above the din of the world. I have found in this mountain a place of peace and rest, a place of joy and comfort to the heart. I have found that the secret place of God is within my own soul. I am made glad as I behold my inner light. I cannot be sad nor depressed, for the all-good has claimed me as its own. O soul within me, rejoice and become glad. I'm going to read you one more because this stuff is just good, doesn't it? Don't you just feel it? It's so good. He says, O soul of mine, look out and see. Look up and know thy freedom. Behold the wonders of the great whole and the marvels of the universe. My eyes behold the complete and perfect in all creation, in all, over all, through all. I arise and go forth into the dawn of a new day, filled with faith and assurance in the all-good. I arise, I sing with joy. I proclaim the one life, in all and through all. I arise, I shout with gladness that is within me. I declare this day to be complete, perfect, and eternal. So we begin in step 1, taking time. If we just did only this, how our mind would be free from any sense of lack, limitation, judgment, fear, discord. We move back into a higher truth. That's just step 1, but take time with it. If that's all you do, yay, you're on the way to freeing your mind. Step 2 is a recognition, which already we read here in Ernest Holmes' words, that I am the presence of the divine, that divine dwells within me and expresses uniquely through me, as me, but that the very core of my being is the place of the holy, is the love, is the peace, is the joy, is the wisdom, the creativity of the one life. That's step 2, just getting a sense that this is holy, this is the ground of the divine, and I am showing up in the world as that presence. Step 2. Step 3. Now step 3 is the fun place. It's where we get to speak about what it is that we would like to see, whether it's for ourselves, another, or in the world. And so we create an affirmative way of stating it. We don't ask for it, we don't hope for it, we don't put it out in the future. We put it as if it's right now. So right now, I have the perfect relationship. I have the most amazing job. I'm appreciated, I'm well rewarded. We develop whatever it is our heart is wanting. And maybe it's peace for the world. Maybe it's I see our communities and individuals awakening so that we can see the holiness of the divine in each other. But you create this image as if it's already true. Here's the most important part of spiritual mind treatment. Don't say, I'm going to get the perfect job. You say, I am doing the work of my heart in the perfect job for me now. Because if you tell the infinite universe that creates based on our word, it is done unto you as you believe, God's going to know you're just waiting for it, and that's where you're going to stay. And I don't want to stay there just waiting for it. I want to feel it now. So when I wanted a husband, number 3, my whole pod group in Science Mind 1, many, many years ago, 33 years ago and more, prayed with more than that. Prayed in beautiful ways, with beautiful words, that this relationship would be one of respect, mutual respect, of deep love, of joy. Yeah, and words I wouldn't have thought of. I read all these and like I could embody that, feel it right now, as though I'm in that relationship. My golly, if I didn't meet my husband right after that class ended. This is so powerful. And when you've been through all the stuff I've been through, sometimes it takes a little bit of time to embody and realize what you really want. And we need to take that time. This is self-care. It's becoming aware of what would it look like if I had the ideal life right now. What's the thing I want? I remember Kathy Ann Lewis saying, when she was looking at what's her heart's desire, her heart's desire was to have a horse. It could be that simple or different. She got a horse, by the way. She didn't want to have to muck out the stalls, and she didn't want to have to do the work of it, but she figured out a way to get a horse. She has several horses. So whatever it is, what's the next thing for you? What's the thing that you would love to have in your life? What you get really clear about now. Because that's what will take you to that place. So that's step 3. Feel as if it's already done. Envision it, hear it, sense into it, how you're feeling. And the most important part of this is how you feel when it is already done. And you carry that feeling forth from this prayer. Like I'm already loved. Already love the work I do. In fact, even if you don't like the work you do, you start to do that work with joy until you get the next job, which will come because you're doing this work. And maybe the job you're in just changes and shifts, and it's amazing. So that's step 3. Step 4 is taking a moment to be grateful. And I want you to know that Ernest Holmes mainly taught steps 1, 2, and 3, and he didn't say do it this way. But we've kind of, over time, through people in the organization, way back then even, said, you know, we need to kind of have a way to let go, to ground this experience of knowing what it is we want and feeling. And that the way we do that is we take a moment to be grateful. So with a grateful heart, the final step is I just let go. I let go knowing it's already done. I will say that Emma Curtis Hopkins would say, I will do my part because I know God is doing God's part. Now that's the God outside of you. Doesn't have to feel that way or look that way to you, but it's like I can let go and let the divine activity of the universe take over from here. It's handling the details. So sometimes I say that in my treatments. I let God handle the details. I'll let the wisdom of the universe handle the details. So I can just let go in faith, knowing it's already done. So that is how we can utterly transform our lives. I want to share with you a little story Edward Fillion told. He goes with a group to Bali and other places. And on one of his trips, I'm not sure where, they decided to go see a holy man. Has anybody heard this story? It's just so good. So he had bought some, I'm wearing them today, he bought a mala, which is, they're really prayer beads. And you see, I didn't put the red down because it doesn't go with my outfit. I had it on backwards. So he's wearing it as a fashion statement, which is what I was doing today. And so they go to this holy man, and the holy man sees his beads around his neck and says, oh, you chant. And so he said, yes. And he said, show me. So the person next to him, he took a minute there and like, okay, what should I say now? How do I chant? Yes, of course I chant. So, but his friend said, there's only one life. That life is God's life. That life is perfect. That life is my life now. Good, show me. Well, there are 108 beads on a mala because in this faith, it's understood that it takes about 108 repetitions to really get the truth into your mind and heart, right? 108 beads. So in this, it was at one of our conventions with like 500 people. We did There's only one life. That life is God's life. That life is perfect. That life is my life now. 108 times. So we're going to do that. We're only going to do 30 times. So I'm going to count the 30 times on my fingers because, of course, when I did this at home, I did it with 2 hands. It might be harder, really. Yeah, anyway, I figured this out. So when we get to the end, instead of going 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, I'll do here's your last 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Wait, yeah, 1. We have one more, and then we're done. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
What I found by doing this was that this mantra, this chant of truth, highest truth, there's only one life. That life is God's life. That life is perfect. That life is my life now. Kept coming back to me. I'd be driving in the car and singing. And whenever something kind of disturbed me or I wanted something soothing, I would go to this chant. And it was powerful. It was just amazing. So I think even just doing it 30 times together, you'll find yourself well rewarded. You ready?
Yep.
Here we go. There is only one life. That life is God's life. That life is perfect. That life is my life now. There's only one life. That life is God's life. That life is perfect. That life is my life now. There is only one life. That life is God's life. That life is perfect. That life is my life now. There is only one life. That life is God's life. That life is perfect. That life is my life now. There's only one life. That life is God's life. That life is perfect. That life is my life now. There's only one life. That life is God's life. That life is perfect. That life is my life now. There's only one life. That life is God's life. That life is perfect. That life is my life now. There's only one life. That life is God's life. That life is perfect. That life is my life now. There's only one life. That life is God's life. That life is perfect. That life is my life now. There's only one life. That life is God's life. That life is perfect. That life is my life now. There's only one life. That life is God's life. That life is perfect. That life is my life now. There's only one life. That life is God's life. That life is perfect. That life is my life now. There's only one life. That life is God's life. That life is perfect. That life is my life now. There's only one life. That life is God's life. That life is perfect. That life is my life now. There's only one life. That life is God's life. That life is perfect. That life is my life now. There's only one life. That life is God's life. That life is perfect. That life is my life now. There's only one life. That life is God's life. That life is perfect. That life is my life now. There's only one life. That life is God's life. That life is perfect. That life is my life now. There's only one life. That life is God's life. That life is perfect. That life is my life now. There's only one life. That life is God's life. That life is perfect. That life is my life now. There's only one life. That life is God's life. That life is perfect. That life is my life now. There's only one life. That life is God's life. That life is perfect. That life is my life now. There's only one life. That life is God's life. That life is perfect. That life is my life now. There's only one life. That life is God's life. That life is perfect. That life is my life now. There's only one life. That life is God's life. That life is perfect. That life is my life now. There's only one life. That life is God's life. That life is perfect. That life is my life now. There's only one life. That life is God's life. That life is perfect. That life is my life now. There's only one life. That life is God's life. That life is perfect. That life is my life now. There's only one life. That life is God's life. That life is perfect. That life is my life now. There's only one life. That life is God's life. That life is perfect. That life is my life now. And so it is. Ooh, I have that feeling. So I'm going to close with a quote from a rabbi. Oh, here we go. It's not here. It's Rabbi Michael Kushner, I'm going to say. Oh, here it is. Oh, it's Rabbi Michael Lerner from Spirit Matters, page 41. So, actually, this is going to be the beginning of our closing prayer. So if you'd like, close your eyes, if you wish. So he says, notice where you are in the universe. Try to imagine yourself as one of the manifestations of the consciousness of the universe, as part of the totality of all things. A momentary explosion of God energy. A momentary embodiment of the spiritual energy of the universe and the force of healing and transformation. He says, do this every night while telling yourself, I am one part of the consciousness of the universe, a manifestation of the unity of all being. And so with the awareness of His presence, I just take a moment to know that right here, right now, a healing is happening. That whatever the need is, every heart and mind is opening to that and seeing it already resolved. That there's a stepping into joy in the awareness of one's own divinity. That there is an awareness that all are part of this one presence, one life. That each is doing the very best they can based on what they know in their experience, no matter how it is. And so I see through the eyes of love, through the eyes of God, into the eyes of God, wherever I go. I am a healing presence on this planet because I come from love. I abide in love. I am grounded in the peace of God. I know this is true for each and every person. And this is what I see, what is revealed before me in amazing ways. Healing is happening. We are stepping into wholeness, into the joy and freedom of knowing this truth. And so with a grateful heart, I simply acknowledge that this is already so. The words spoken here are simply a revelation of this light and this truth. And so I can let go, knowing it's already done. And if we could join me as we affirm together by saying, and so it is. Praise God. Yay. Thank you. Thank you so much. So it's time, it's our giving time now. And so would you just join me in the consciousness of giving, and that is knowing that this center touches lives, transforms lives. We are a healing place on the planet. And we are going to magnetically draw to us all those who are hungry for what we have to offer. We live in an abundant universe. Abundance is ours. And as we give, we do receive. In fact, as we give, more and more is returned to us because the flow continues. You know, there's a thing I read in Eric Butterworth's book on economics that I did not understand before. And now I understand how when money moves, it grows things, and it grows the money. So let's just say I bought a house for $500,000. I own the house now, but where did the $500,000 go? I don't know why I'm stopping to do this lesson, but you know, God said to do it. So where did the $500,000 go? Okay, y'all tell me.
Into the house.
To what?
The bank.
To the bank. Oh yeah, I went to the bank and see, from the bank it went to pay for
The house.
what?
The house.
The house. Well, yeah, the stuff, the building materials, the laborers, and the land, right? So now we have a house, but the money's still out there. Did you notice that? Whoa. And so that 500,000 is in somebody else's pocket, and they can go build a house with it now, you know? It adds up. So as money moves, it creates. And so when we're in a financial crisis, it's like our garden hose. As long as the hose is uncranked, the flow can come from the source. And so we want to uncrank the hoses and just keep watering, because there's always more water, I just want you to know. And there's always more money. There's more than enough to go around. So let's just see that our universe is abundant and people are supported and needed and every need is met. To me, that's the biggest thing. So it is our giving time. Back to that. We have a basket at the back for your gifts today, and there are many other ways you can give it. If I could find my notes on it, I would tell you. There's an app you can put on your phone or tablet, and who knows where that is? What's it called?
Give Plus.
Gift Plus. Give Plus. It's called Give Plus. You can also drop a check off at the bookstore or in the office during the week when we're open, if you like. You can also mail something to High Desert Center for Spiritual Living. So lots of ways to give. But right now, I'd like to invite you to do the affirmation in your program, which I brought it over here because I knew it would need it. So it's right in the front, inside. Ready? In fact, would you like to stand to read this? We're getting into that affirmative way of being, and then we'll have some great music. Ready? Here we go. Divine love consecrates my gift. It goes forth to heal, prosper, and bless. It is evidence of my conviction that God is the source and substance of my supply. I joyously contribute to the vision of the spiritual center, knowing that it returns to me multiplied abundantly. And then join in God is my source.
God is my source. God is my power. God gives me everything I need. So I give thanks for all my blessings. God gives me everything I need. God is my source. God is my power. God gives me everything I need. So I give thanks for all my blessings. God gives me everything I need. Peace is my source. Peace is my power. Peace gives me everything I need. So I give thanks for all my blessings. Peace gives me everything I need. Joy is my source. Joy is my power. Joy gives me everything I need. So I give thanks for all my blessings. So I give me everything I need. And back to God. God is my source. God is my power. God gives me everything I need. So I give thanks for all my blessings. God gives me everything I need. God gives me everything I need. God gives me everything
So I'm going to invite the practitioners to come forward. You know, our practitioners are amazing. I'll tell you, the first time I went to see a practitioner was when I was in Practitioner 1 training, because you had to. And I want you to know it knocked my socks off. She was amazing. I didn't know how powerful spiritual mind treatment was or could be until I sat with someone and shared what I wanted. So if you want something to come into your life or to leave your life, see one of these folks. They're miracle workers. We actually have a prayer box out on the practitioner table, and there will be a practitioner on here. They're coming over here by me. I love that. Oh, it's a camera. Oh, hi, camera. Hi, everybody out there. Thank you for joining us on YouTube today. So, see a practitioner, put a prayer box, and put a prayer in the prayer request box. We will all be praying for whatever it is you want to bring into your life, or if there's something you need to release or would like to release, we'll pray for that too. We do amazing things. All right. We have an affirmation. It's on the pink slip. Will you join me? Oh, we say it first. So the affirmation for today is contemplating my vision. I recognize what it feels and smells like. Ooh, does that fit with our talk today? Let's say that together. Ready? Contemplating my vision. I recognize what it feels and smells like today. I like that. I left smelling out. All right. One more time. Contemplating my vision. I recognize what it feels and smells like today. And so it is. We are asking everyone to leave the sanctuary right away. We're having our membership meeting. If you're a member, you can go into the community room. There's a lot of other names for that, fellowship hall, the other room over there where we eat and have fun, and sign in and get a packet. We have a packet of information for you, and then come back in here for our meeting. We will be Zooming some people in for the meeting, so go out, say hi to your loved ones, take just a moment to just, connect, and then go sign in and come back. And now we're going to do a benediction. So we're going to do something different just for the fun of it. Would you repeat this after me? Something wonderful is happening to me today, through me today. Let's do that right. Something wonderful is happening through me today. It is this thing called joy. This thing called joy. Joy is in my mind. Joy is in my heart. Joy is in everything I do. And life is great. And so it is. Have a great day.
Imagine doing 108?
Yeah.